I think take on the photos actually because that's really flaw. It's amazing. Yeah, I do believe a lot of that, but I think that's what it is. And it worked for him. Done a lot of it to push it. There's one. Okay.
Paul, are we ready?
You're ready.
All right. Welcome to the Troy City Council meeting for December 16th. And a quick call meeting to order. And start out with the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any public comments on matters on the agenda?
Sure.
Okay, we'll move on to new business. We'll go through our consent agenda. We'll go through our claims and our minutes. Good. I'll ask for a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll make the motion.
All in favor? Now do new business licenses. Master Touch Electrical Corporation, Josh and Wyatt Renters. Yes. Come up to the podium. Kind of give us a little description of what you're going to be doing as a plumber.
Electrical service contractor, we're taking over the business January 1st. We're gonna keep, we'll have 9 employees total, residential, commercial, industrial. So, that's the gist of this. How proud are you guys?
That's
That question. About 2 months, that's what I figured. That's, probably 1 month. So,
nice.
Anyone have any questions?
Does good work.
Do you do just new construction or do you
We do everything.
like,
Yeah.
do people call you when they need?
Yeah, we got
something
several
in
calls.
emergency kind of-
Emergency, yes, implementing, so. Yep.
Thanks.
Ask for a motion to accept new business license for Master Touch Electrical Corporation.
I'll make a motion to accept this license. Come on. Not we.
Should we get a second?
Sure, I'll second, please. That's it.
All in favor? Yeah. Moving on to your second business license, concrete polishing and restoration. And Josh, you know,
They're out of Indiana or something. They're $1 general contractors. Yeah,
They're already gone, actually.
Yeah.
So.
that's been sitting here since like the day after the last meeting. So that's it.
well, in case they have to come back, I get a motion to accept the new business license for concrete polishing and restoration.
I'll make a motion to accept. After the fact.
A second,
I'll say that.
all in favor? Unanimous. Alright, well, moving on to appointment of the open city council position. You turn this over to Shauna, since this is a council situation. Just facilitate.
Okay.
So, we're just gonna go through, we're gonna interview, 4 applicants. Unless anyone wants to do it privately,
They're all the same questions for each person.
It's like everyone's here.
I guess, do we wanna have the other 3 step outside and wait?
Yeah, that way everyone's hearing the questions.
Alright, so you're getting down some.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go from the top of the pile and so Jesse's letters on the top, so.
So you want us to go outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, that way it's not.
That's long.
That's-
It's like, you're just like 3-minute questions, right?
It's gonna be for.
Yeah.
Depends how long when it's. Mr. O'Reilly?
No. No.
Thank you.
Yes.
So we'll ask everyone the same questions and same people asking the same questions. So I'll start. Question number 1, tell us about yourself and what interests you about the city council position.
Yeah, I guess the position itself, I've always felt I guess a need to want to give back to my community and to, contribute somehow. So when this position came open, I felt I was particularly well suited for it, given my professional expertise and experience in local government, land use development and planning. And so at the encouragement of several community members, I decided to put my name in the hat. As for myself, I've lived in the city limits for a little over 3 years now. Moved to the Act when I was 17, back in '99. So I've been around the area for a long time and have extended family here. So this is certainly home, and it's a little new being in town, but certainly enjoy it. And with kids in school, it's good to be in town. Give them all those opportunities at a time that a town affords you. Because of course, my wife, growing up in the Act, missed out on a lot of that stuff. So.
Excuse me, in your opinion, what is the most pressing issue facing the city at this time?
I think first and foremost, budget is always consideration. People are feeling pinched. That economy, certainly the state having raised property taxes is affecting everybody pretty hard. So, I think just being fiscally responsible and making sure people are getting the most value for their tax money is probably the most important. then I see.
Can you share how you can fit in time for the city council and the rest of your life activities? Good luck.
Yeah, just proper scheduling, and commitment, you know, I already in several, regularly attend, several meetings tomorrow. I've got county planning board. But yeah, just scheduling it, commitment, if I say I'll be there, I'll be there.
Next question, have you been in a role where two people wanted you to take opposite positions on the same subject?
Yes. Often. You want me to elaborate?
Yeah, I guess so. How did that go?
I think quality that I have, it's just being a good listener, making sure that, I hear everybody, everybody's point of view and really try to make the most educated decision you can, what's the best for the community. Sometimes, you just really have to go into things with an open mind. Listen to everybody. We're representing, we the people, so just go into an open mind and hopefully make the most informed decision and take accountability for that decision.
Can you share an example where you played a leadership role?
Oh gosh, leadership role. I guess, professionally, as director for Lincoln County Planning Department, I take the lead on quite a few projects and initiatives. Affordable housing is something that, it's in the Lincoln County growth policy, and I've been taking kind of an active leadership role, in trying to pursue those goals with, limited resources, which can be pretty challenging. So, I guess I take pride in it. You just put some, personal motivation into it, trying to network and coordinate people when we're, trying to work on something with some potential workforce housing for the school here in Troy. So, one of many examples.
Okay, Jesse, you have any questions for us?
I guess just if I understand it correct, this appointment would be to fill the seat until the next general election next November.
Correct.
That was the filling position.
No, so when is yours gonna be up?
Yeah, till my position's up, which is
4 years, so
3 years.
2 years after that.
2 years.
years.
2 years. Yeah, it'll be 2 years after.
Okay.
So be on my side.
So
You were the 2 years.
I'm the 2 years, I used it for.
Yeah, you and I are the 4 years.
Okay, 3. What?
Yeah, 3 more years.
Yeah.
It's all blurred since 2018.
Thanks, Jesse.
And for you guys, if you don't want to say
Yeah.
for the business, if you don't want to, you're welcome to, but you don't have to.
Yeah, I've never been to a meeting, we can check it out.
So next,
And these are just in order of when they were received, that's,
Oh, sure.
yeah.
Every night.
That's
Betsy next.
just so you know.
Oh, it's either or. You can sit since you.
You look like cities better.
Yeah.
Who's it?
Here's John.
Okay, first question. Tell us about yourself and what interests you about the city council position.
Well, I came here 30 years ago. Well, more like 30 years ago. I know what it's like to move into a new place and get a new start. I worked in the city for 23 years. I understand that side of it, and I've always been interested in working with my community. Been on the fire department for 23 years, and I just feel, something to do. Continue on with what I was.
In your opinion, what's the most pressing issue that Troy's facing right now?
I would say if anything, it's everybody trying to get along and work through the problems instead of saying this is the problem, it's my way or no way. It's working together.
Can you share how you can fit the time for city council and the rest of your life activities?
Well, I'm retired, so I got plenty of time to throw out there.
Have you been in a role where two people wanted you to take opposite positions on the same subject? And if so, how did that help?
Well, I've always been one to try to look at both sides, but I've never actually had to pull both sides.
Can you share an example of where you played a role in leadership?
Well, I used to run a crew when I was out working on the road. I've been lead lineman for the last few years since Bob left, last couple.
You got any
Then
questions for us?
I was a second assistant fire chief for a couple of years, and then I was also assistant fire marshal.
Thank you.
Got any questions for us, Stu?
No, I don't think so. You probably shut up.
Nope.
No. Be your job.
Yeah, I'm trying. No, yes, I did not ask her to shut up. That's a foolish move.
These are being recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lorraine.
Correct. You submitted your letter on that, so.
Yeah. They were just put in the packets in order when they came in. Want me here?
You can sit right there.
Yes, I would.
Very good.
Okay, first question. Tell us about yourself and what interests you about the city council positions.
Well, my name's Lorraine Henson. I have been back in Troy for about 14 years. Born and raised here, but then left for a while and went, I lived in Billings for a little bit and in Norman, Oklahoma. So grew up in a small town. I love the small town feel. But I also have outside knowledge. There's a real world out there. And what I am interested in the city council position is that I just think it's real important to have somebody in here that knows the community. Well, you got to know your community. Let's see what else. Oh, I work for Lincoln County. I work for Judge Sheffield or with Judge Sheffield. So that I think that kind of gives me an edge on seeing where gaps and needs are in our area in Lincoln County. I mean, but in Troy too. So.
In your opinion, what is the most pressing issue facing the city at this point?
That's a difficult one because we have quite a few. I think our kids that are in bad home situations. I think we need to, and I don't have the answer by myself, certainly, but we need to help. That's heartbreaking.
Can you share how you can fit the time for city council into the rest of your life activities?
Well, I work from 8 to 5, other than that, I'm pretty much home. 20-minute hot tub stint every night, but kids are grown, grandkids are out of state.
Have you been in a role where two people wanted you to take opposite positions on the same subject? And if so, how did that go?
I don't know that I have been. Uh, I've been on opposite sides of the same subject. I am pretty good at seeing both sides. And if I make somebody, then they're mad, but.
Can you share an example of where you played a leadership role?
I have played a leadership role in a lot of situations. I was an office manager for a chiropractic office when I was in Oklahoma. I did that. I was the manager for 8 years. I worked at the practice for 12. I've been in co-leadership situations. Bob and I have I've owned one business by myself and we owned two together. And they were successful where we were. They're not for Troy, but I worked at the school. That was kind of a leadership situation. Thank you.
All right, got any questions for us, Lori?
I don't believe so.
Thank you. Fire away. Start with that one.
First question. Tell us about yourself and what interests you about the city council position.
Well, born and raised in Troy, graduated in '66. I've attended hundreds and hundreds of city council meetings. I've been active, mostly volunteer with I'm on the board of Millmere Lake Cemetery. Volunteer quite often with the VFW. I think common sense is a big deal to be on the city council. I've seen a lot of changes in Troy. It's not getting any bigger since I graduated high school, for sure. Our budget is in the millions. I think there's work to be done on tightening our belts.
In your opinion, what is the most pressing issue facing Troy at this time?
Money.
Can you share how you can fit the time for the city council and the rest of your life activities?
Retired from retire. I have all the time in the world to research or ask questions. I'm not called 24/7.
Have you been in a role where two people wanted you to take opposite positions on the same subject? And if so, how did that go?
Well, if two people can sit down level-headed, not scream at each other. Exchange dialogues, and maybe come to a workable conclusion. Got to compromise. It's not a cut and dry situation. Each person or each party, commander, cop, both gonna have to give. Take. For the best solution at that time. Then later down the road, things may change. You go back and you report it. To help you solve the problem.
Can you share an example where you played a leadership role?
Well, 35 years as a survey partner chief.
As a what? I'm sorry.
Survey party chief, heavy construction. I work with construction foremen, project managers. Yeah. I think my work ethic started back in '68. I first went to work for Bear Creek Mining up on the mine, the exploration work.
Do you have any questions for us, Paul?
No,
Okay, well, thank you.
short one person.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Larry, ready for your questions?
You got it.
Yeah, so. Like in private? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, so we just keep the meeting going, but have this be a closed door portion.
Well, if you close the
Bingo.
meeting, you gotta close the.
Everything.
Again.
We should just finish out what we're doing, don't you think?
Yeah, you can't legally close the meeting.
Right.
Well, no, it has to be either they're discussing a lawsuit that they're currently in, or it is a
Oh,
personnel issue.
okay. Okay.
Thank you, Sheriff. I can just go through the order and ask for a motion to accept. We can just vote that way. No, go through and do each individual one. Okay, and we'll start with the first one, Jesse, for a motion to accept Jesse Hogg as to appoint to the open city council position. Do I have a motion?
I would make a motion to accept Jesse for the position.
Do I have a second?
No second.
All in favor? Unanimous? Do I have a motion to accept Dennis as the first city council person? Motion failed. Do I have a motion to accept Lorraine for the open city council position? Motion failed. And do I have a motion for Paul for the open city council positions? Okay, motion failed. Jesse, you are in the hot seat. Okay. Thank everyone for coming out and expressing their interest.
Thanks for having us.
Moving on to local government review study commission updates. I think I will leave this one in the hands of Jamie.
So we're gonna have our first meeting on Thursday at. Six, Thursday at 6, yes. We went to, it was, Alona and myself went to a training in Whitefish. Tuesday? Yes, last Tuesday, and it was basically just discussing the history of Troy, discussing our charter and then the different forms of government options that are out there. It wasn't really as far as like, okay, now do this. It was just kind of discussing the history. So moving forward, I think the 3 candidates that are part of the study, I think it would be best to invest in some of the training options that are there, because this one, it was like a jumping off point, if that's it. I feel like they'll be very much in the dark. And I didn't realize how strict the whole process was through MCA, like what you can and can't do, and it's a lot.
But there's no guide on how to.
No, it's just a lot of, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, good luck. Was pretty much the gist of the 8 hours of training. But yeah, so first meeting will be Thursday. And that's about it. Great. Not much yet.
That's a public meeting, right?
It has to.
Yeah, advertised it.
Yep, so
Having a meeting now.
here, yeah, so Paula's gonna put out the agenda tomorrow and get it posted for everybody.
What time's that meeting?
6 o'clock.
Do you want to have any questions on that? Okay, moving on to the next agenda item, First Montana Bank Intrafi FDIC insurance above the limits. This has to do with our bonds that we have at First Montana Bank. And I'm sure I may get this a little confusing, but our bonds that we have through the federal treasury are held and managed and serviced through First Montana Bank, and then we have some at Lincoln County Credit Union. What's happening is the service fee on those bonds by the entity within First National Bank is going up dramatically. And so First Montana Bank has basically came up with this as a solution to be able to manage and service our bonds at a cheaper and lower service rate than what the current is. So far, so good, Paula?
Yep.
Okay.
They, that fee is not to us, that doesn't come down to us, that's just what First Montana Bank is charged for the whole process that they do. Because this is for your FDIC insured for $250,000. We have more than that in there, so in order to cover that, they have these processes.
And even switching over, our bonds are still insured, they're still protected, they're, guaranteed, they're just very similar to federal treasury.
Yeah.
So we do need to, do we need to make a motion to accept it, because Jackson said we need to get it in the minutes?
Yes, so they wanna switch over to this, but you guys have to accept that change, and then we work with them to get it all set up. On our side, what it would take is there's 2 parts to it. So Cedars is for CDs, so there really won't be much change on that side. But the other part with the checking accounts that we have, that will be a change where there will be one additional account that's called a sweep account. So they will work with us to figure out what is the amount we need to keep in the accounts, and then they'll just sweep every day. So, and invest it, go back whatever needs to be used, whatever's over gets swept out.
Will that cost the city anything, or is that something that the bank?
That's all on,
So it's all on them.
yeah.
Well, I think
Mhm.
that's what we-
So I'll ask for a motion to accept First Montana Bank to move our bonds over to the intra fee system.
I would make a motion to have that taken care of.
You would say word for word.
No, I.
I will second the motion.
All in favor? So, yeah. Police commission, it's time that we need to reseat some members. And or send out some letters for interest.
Yeah.
I think we have 3 members currently.
Something great.
No, very good.
Yeah, and we had asked for letters of interest when we were asking for
The
mayor.
plan or the government studies.
Government study, okay, yeah. So we only had one, I believe, and that was Ben Kibbe. I haven't talked to the members that are currently on it. Some of them may be interested in remaining, but they were all 3 appointed as a temporary seat until we could get new ones done.
Cause they had prior knowledge, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Are we gonna try to go for 3 seats, or are we gonna try to retain somebody that has knowledge?
We probably should look at our ordinances about that, what it says. I know we're supposed to stagger them. So if one of them would like to stay on, that would be ideal. So they could kind of get the new folks, up to speed, but.
So we would do this. Well, reach out for more letters of interest.
I sure can.
Depending on,
I can post it again.
yeah.
I could call the 3 that we have and see if anyone's interested in still staying on. So we have a number, so we know how many positions we need to fill. We do need to probably vote next month on this because we have a 4th officer, and then I'm not sure where Michael's at in his process. But
We just went to Helen pretty soon, then.
He's there now. He
That's pretty soon.
they had impact this morning. He passed that. Had some eye exam and some other stuff with the psych test this afternoon. And he'll have some other tests coming. Some board.
so we'll need to get that rolling and get that in place. So we will be needing that. So I will make a couple calls this week and send out a blanket email to everyone, let them know what I found out. Anyone have any other questions on that? Old business, AFR contract, so this is to bring Montana City Found Leagues, that acronym. To be able to help us do the AFR, the annual financial reports for the end of year. I think everybody's seen the contract. Levi, the attorney, did review and has no issues with the contract. Does anyone have any questions on that, to be able to get that in place and just put the on going rather soon?
No,
I think we need to make that happen.
so they're better.
Yeah, like immediately.
Okay, that's for a motion to approve the AFR contract and get that signed and implemented.
I'll make a motion to approve the AFR contracts.
Can you get a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Unanimous? Moving on to the department reports. I don't have anything outstanding. You see Clay, the guy got the trees decorated for the kiddos.
Yep.
Um,
Cam, we got a new license City Hall put up.
And you did get $10,000 for new lights and stuff for next year.
Yeah, we won't look at purchasing stuff until after Christmas.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good deal. Yeah, heck, yeah. You don't buy them today, you buy them after.
Yeah.
Instead of having a donor come through for that.
Oh, nice, nice.
How'd that go with the older kids?
I don't know. It was great for me. We just put the lights on the trees and then they came down and done it all themselves. They came down to the school. So all I have little kids, it's one class at a time. We can work with them. Well, when they brought high school down, I'm gonna put one or two guys in. So it's better to be like, you guys have fun. Yeah, just don't rip it all.
We gave mutual ladder and said, good luck.
Yeah.
Everything's good. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, good work, good work.
Did we give them a date to when you want to take the lights down?
It's usually after the first, so probably when the kids come back, if we can get them to.
We don't come back till 6, I
Yeah,
think.
so, I mean, that's not unheard of, a few days, so.
Okay. When I hear, I'll let you know.
And then, my pole trailer's done, so I'm gonna go down and grab it, so that way when I go to get a tag, they'll get tags for the Ranger because they got stolen hell. Yeah. Yeah, John was down at his school and when he got back here, he's like, there's the tags out on the Ranger. So apparently in the parking lot of the hotel or at the school or something, someone stole the tags off the Ranger.
Okay, or plates.
Plate, that's on
Plates,
plate,
oh.
yeah, plates.
The entire license plate?
Should have run some exempt plates somewhere.
It's not case number, but the trailer's done, so I might as well go get the trailer and then get all plates at once instead of going and coming back and then going again, so. Yeah, real fun. He gets back, he goes, I was like, I don't know either, see if the dash cam got him. Dash cam only works when the truck's on. So apparently they were sneaky enough that they didn't shake the truck enough to set off the motion sensors on the dash cam, so.
You need those other bolts for it
Well,
that you can't get off.
Well,
Roll them out.
so the front plate they didn't get all the way off. They tried, but we actually used bolts with lock wires. So they would have to get underneath the off-road bumper to get it off. They cut the zip ties thinking that was holding it. And yeah, but they got the back one. So someone's running 56 plate in the hell doing something.
Yep, stand out or anything.
Yeah. Wow.
Travis?
So for training, I was talking with Levi, he's getting pretty close to having our training come together, probably about the middle of January, we can go over some laws and constitutional stuff and everything, make sure that we're refreshed on that. He also spoke with the chief of police over in Libby, and I think they might come over and join us on that. So that'd be kind of cool because we do stuff with the sheriff's department, but we don't get to get together with Libby PD much, so it just kind of goes that relationship. So we have us talking aboard a guy, get a few patrol cars down to him, get some oil changes done, new battery and stuff. Sheriff's Department, we're still working with we still have some questions on the flex for evidence, and we're working on the records department. Some stuff came up with records and whose responsibility is for when people come in for reports and stuff like that. So Levi has our MOU on with the dispatch on that, and he's looking at over now. Grants are pretty much the same. We're looking still. We got the 4th officer. Shop with the cop was a success. Henry Paul and ran with on that and did a good job there. And this month, a little bit slower for calls for service. We had 35 and 5 agency assists.
Ward,
Yeah, so I,
shoot for the dead.
I kind of apologize here on the other day.
No, it's your paper.
I didn't get a paper one. But so basically, since the last council report, I was gone the first couple of weeks, but I had my guys working a bunch of stuff. They had me order some light kits for the trucks, for just more lights over plowing. We ordered a backup alarm for the dump truck because they didn't have one and we needed one. Pretty important stuff. So we've been doing a lot of maintenance stuff. They went completely through the backhoe the other day. Greased it, changed the oil. We had a leaking hose we fixed. We did the same thing on the skid steer. We had to replace some belts with the blowers down there at the lagoon. We had a bunch of stuff like that. Lots of maintenance and just the little stuff that gets forgot about. We had a burial. That was after I got back. The water department, we've been so those 100 meters that we got the grant to get, we worked on getting a bunch of those replaced. The zero reads that weren't working. We got quite a few of those that were trying to beat the weather. So we got as many of those done as we could. We're still kind of going as long as the ground isn't covered in snow. We'll keep hacking on it. Yeah, we had, but that's the biggest thing is like equipment and just a little stuff. Yeah, the Beavers have been down there playing hell at the park.
Saw that
Yeah, so
by the yurt.
yeah, so we had a bunch of stuff to clean up there. Keeping the weeds out of the drains every time because we've been getting more rain and snow, so keeping the streets and the drains and everything going. There's some other things we mentioned. Anyway, yeah, so we've had plenty to keep us busy. I just like I say, I just didn't have paper copy then. But yeah,
Did have our RPA meeting,
no, what's up?
the RPA meeting, we did have that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That went well, they're gonna, when's their pre-bid meeting?
It's coming right up here, I think right after Christmas.
Is it right after Christmas?
Right after
Yeah,
Christmas, yeah.
it's that first week in January.
Hopefully that'll be going out to bid pretty quick and we get some contractors. It's gotta go through the acute thing first. And then hopefully we can get some contractors interested, get some bids going. So that's what I was gonna say. The other thing, we started working on those couple of doors that were bad at the fire hall. Jesse actually kind of took it on himself he had a doctor's appointment over in Post Falls, and while he was there, he went to what do you call the
Restore.
Restore, yeah, that's a good door.
He found a couple doors that the right size that were really cheap, so he grabbed those. So we got some supplies ready to rebuild the door frames and stuff. And the one at the end, it just, I mean, it looked like crap, but we just kind of scuffed it down and put some paint on it, but it wasn't rotten. So you kind of spruced it up a little bit. But we're trying to keep it. DJ said like little to no budget, so we're trying to keep it cheap. Yeah. So that's another little project we got going on. Yeah. So. Great work.
Paula, Sharon?
Big thing is that I had a meeting with Danielle Vincent, that's her last name, from Local Government Services. She's the one who is the final decision on the audit extensions. And she contacted me and asked to meet. So we had a good discussion and she did go ahead and approve it with the caveat that Nicole has to have this done by the end of January. It has to be.
Period.
Yeah, and if she did not, she would not be approved for any more of our audits going forward. So we need to just cut ties and go with a new auditor regardless, I think.
Have you heard from her? Does she?
I
Is she
have not, but I
hopeful?
know
I did,
that,
I did talk to her and, I did pass on that same message that
Yeah.
Paula got from Danielle and she was, like, oh. So she knows the seriousness of it. She's hoping to, get us that audit by mid-January. Told her I was gonna follow up every week with her to see where she is and the progress on that, so I will make my call to her by Thursday or Friday. Just to continue to press the issue of urgency.
That's the 22 budget, correct?
Yeah.
Or 22 and 23.
22-23.
She's gonna have. She's hopeful to have both of them done by January.
She needs to have.
yeah, 'cause that's what contracts
Yeah.
is for that. The other thing, I did ask Danielle, you know, what was this just us or is this, you know, Nicole's animal? She did say that, yeah, she has unfortunately been behind. She's a small firm, so she's inexpensive in the whole realm of it. In looking at new ones, Danielle did say it's probably gonna be 2 to 3 times what we are now, yeah.
But if we get it done though.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, missing out on grants.
Right.
It's costing us.
Right. And she said, you know, if we, you know, have someone we're thinking of, I could give her a call and she could kind of let us know how they,
That would be nice.
if she knows, she can let us know how they're doing. She did say, we're gonna have to do it for a 2-year. So we're gonna have to ask for 24, 25 to be done, and then maybe even say, okay, let's also do 26 so that they at least have, you know, one of them they'll do as a 2-year and then they'll do an additional year in a contract. So we'll have to see if we can find someone.
Yeah.
That's affordable.
Mhm.
Yeah, she said. With Denny.
Oh, Daniel
Yeah,
Associates, yeah.
Denny. She said, yes, they're good, but they are highly priced. So, but they are on time, on schedule. It's just high ticket.
Now, is that something that we could send out an email to all of them, kind of get a?
That's what I'm gonna see if, I can't remember if it had, emails on that sheet, so I did ask her about some of the things. You know, I said, it sounds to me like this seems to be an issue with a lot of people I've heard, for Montana, and I knew there were some listed like in other states, and she said, well, the ones in Colorado, she thinks are pretty much just for housing, not.
Oh, okay.
So, it's like, okay, well, then probably not those. So. And I don't remember if there were ones in Idaho or not. I think so.
Sure.
I had an issue sending out my email bills this month. Apparently, we have a cap through Montana Sky on how many emails we can send out in a day. And that cap is 200, and we just hit that this last month, I guess. So I'm doing some brainstorming to see how I can do a workaround on that. Couple options are switching to a Gmail account. We already have one set up so that we can do the YouTube account. That's a possibility. Greg said he could host email addresses for us. $5 a month per address.
And
we have 14 addresses for the city. It comes out to $840 a year for email hosting. I reached out to Montana Sky. They said they are about to start charging for email hosting, but they haven't set that schedule yet for how much it's going to cost. Black Mountain is going to help me work through. I might be able to do half of the bill file today, half of the bill file tomorrow. To get around that, it'll be very inconvenient, but possible. So that's where we stand there.
Gmail is unlimited, right?
And
Well, it's way higher than ours anyway. It was like I could send 2,000 or something a day, and we don't even have 2,000 customers, so that won't be an issue.
Well, somebody's gotta pay their bill. You wouldn't have to send it to everybody, right?
We only have, we have just over 200 accounts on email billing right now.
Which saves in postage.
Saves a lot of
Postage
postage.
and emails.
Yeah.
And you don't really get to see your last year usage for water and electric and everything. It's actually
Your meter works, yeah.
Yeah.
If your meter works.
It's,
Yeah.
Is our website through Montana Sky hosting also, or is that? I don't think it is.
So, it's hosted by WordPress. I don't know where we pay our domain name. I think Kate might know that.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's coming up soon. So,
Yes.
Cause we should be able to get a domain through Gmail, through Google.
Right, and have, so that it would say at.
Yeah,
But it would be through Gmail.
well, if you put that on your list to do when you return from vacation.
Yeah.
When you return, so the next few weeks, please.
And we did post the, cops position. We have one hard copy that has been turned in, and I know there was, an online one today. So that's what we've got so far. And I think we put it to the 31st of December, just,
Okay,
that's a little over 2 weeks, but
yeah, okay.
with everything going on, just
so it's only a job service and Indeed right now. Travis, were you able to post it through?
No, so I was talking to Henry about that today, so we're looking to do that tomorrow.
okay.
Public comments on matters not on the agenda. You went first.
I went first. I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Whole trailer's ready now.
Oh, the trailer, that's what I think. You want to get more out of him, you just did that more out of you, man. I know power was out of the Cooney Drive from the guy hitting the thing. I never heard you say that.
Well, I'm sorry, it was on.
Yeah, I'm reading this, yeah, I read.
He did it.
I got you.
Well, I think a week later and calls the power and go again.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to go through any?
No, it's cool, I got it, man.
So I was just kind of wondering, it's not really a common thing or no issue, but Christmas bonuses. I'm not asking for me, but I've really got to say my guys impress me every day. Like if the budget could handle a little something, I'd really like to give the guys something.
You know, I've been working for the school 16 years. I think I get a sweater this year.
Yeah.
Like an Ashes cardigan?
Like a pullover. Like, all right, rubs it Troy on it.
Still pretty.
Yeah.
The emblem on.
Are you on days or nights?
On nights right now.
I'll swing down, talk to you and play tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah. Just like say it's just, I mean, I know, but it just is what it is, but if we could do that, like, I really don't mind, but if we could do something for that, so.
Is there a Christmas party this year or no Christmas party?
I
think.
Because if not, there's money saved right there.
That's true.
I don't know if we actually budget for a Christmas party.
Oh, that's just something.
Yeah, right.
Everybody bring something.
No.
You want a lot.
Yeah, we've done it last couple.
Yeah.
So last meeting, you guys concerned about grants and this the AFR. Did anybody find out if it's gonna affect our grants or?
We're good.
Yeah.
So the grant extension, or I mean, the bond extension,
They're all in good shape.
allowing us to be on.
Audit was the problem, because they did not extend. Initially, she did not improve the extension for the audit being late. But they have now, so for this moment. We're good.
Get them in, get them reimbursed.
Yes, I yes. Yes, so I was gonna say, I need to give you all. Some help. Yes, 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 yeah.
Any other comments on matters not on the agenda? Okay, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to do that.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Unanimous? Everyone with one, everyone? Thank you very much.
I didn't want to see the meeting.
We get this on the
Okay.
Or, yeah. We're done.
Let's go.